Father and Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Because we're running very late today, so I'll just say a quick contemplation in a few minutes, so we all can benefit from today's Gospel. We read that same Gospel about the Samaritan woman during the Great Lent, but we looked at from the point or from the angle of repentance. But today we're reading it in the season of the Pentecost, the joyful days, from the angle of the living water, that our Lord Jesus Christ provided the living water for Samaritan woman. So just a quick contemplation is, I want to call that contemplation the thirst crusher. What is my thirst crusher? What satisfies, what quenches my thirst? Every one of us gets thirsty. And every one of us has many desires and things that they want to be satisfied. So each one has different priorities, different desires, different things that they need. So that question or contemplation for everyone to think is, what is the thing that quenches your thirst? What is the thing that quenches your thirst? It could be a relationship that you're after, that you think if you get that relationship, when you enter into a relationship, that will quench your thirst. Well, in this case, we can see that the Samaritan woman didn't just enter into one, but she had 6, and she was still thirsty. It could be you're thirsty for money, and you're running around from one business to another, from one job to another, accumulating wealth, and focusing too much on accumulating wealth because you believe that this will quench your thirst. And we know many examples from the Bible. The rich young man, he was very rich, but he was still thirsty, and that's why he went to our Lord Jesus Christ, asked him, what do I need to do? He felt there's something missing, even though he had all the riches, but he wasn't satisfied. It could be, I'm after a particular status, a particular position. It could be, I'm after my ego, my pride, and I want to build up, myself. It could be that I'm after a particular thing, a desire, a particular car, or a particular house, or a particular location. It could be that I'm desiring a particular service so I can show off in that service and prove myself to others. There's many things that I'm thirsty for. It could be that I'm thirsty for even everyday necessities, and I'm thinking, if I have this stabilized or this satisfied, I'll be happy. But we find that all these things, even though we do them, we still get thirsty. Everyone else, when we get thirsty, what we do, we go straight to the water and drink water. At that moment, we quench our thirst. At that moment, we think, I don't need water anymore. I don't need water anymore. I'm satisfied, I'm quenched. But a few hours later, or maybe less, I'm thirsty again. So we can see that this is never ending. And we go around in circles, chasing ourselves, finding our thirst crusher. And that reminds me of a story or of an advertisement. I've actually said it maybe last year or the year before, about the solo drink. That was a few years ago. An ad for the solo drink. And that ad went like that. There was a main, like a waterfall, natural spring, and they threw a can of Solo in that natural spring of water, and a man dived under the water looking for the can of Solo, and going and swimming against the tide of the waterfalls and the currents, and struggling, and finally got hold of the can of Solo and opened it and drank it and said, wow, that's quenching my thirst now. I found this ad very contradicting, because he was swimming in the purest water on earth, from the waterfall, pure spring waters. And he was looking for something that he believes will quench his thirst, even though he ignored all the surrounding around him and all the true source of thirst crusher, which is the natural water. This is what we do every day. We have around us the church, we have around us the sacraments, around us the Holy Bible, around us the teaching of the beautiful church, and God is telling us today, come to me, I'm your thirst crusher. You will find satisfaction in me. Don't look for anywhere else. Don't go like that man in the ad, swimming against the tide and going and putting effort and time to try and find a can of drink that he thinks will satisfy his thirst. And at the end, he didn't look and even was blinded to see the natural water around him. So this is just a contemplation I'll leave with each one of us today to contemplate on and pray during the Holy Liturgy and say, God, help me to find you. You are the true satisfaction of my thirst. Anywhere else in the world, I'll still be thirsty. You satisfy me today. Glory be to God forever.